All right, technical difficulties.
Pissing me off, man. I'm fucking kind of pissed, man.
What would this be without trials and
It'd be
tribulations?
easy. That's what it'd be, Jay. I want it to fucking be easy.
You know what? Everybody wants everything to be easy, but nothing easy is worthwhile at the end of the day.
Yo, let me tell you something, Jay. Not every day I want to hear this Yoda shit, man. I want. Give me some bad advice, man. Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's what it counts the most, though. Where you don't want it, where you don't want to do it, it's where you most need to do it. I know this is the exact opposite of what you just said, but
are you capable?
That's all I know.
Are you incapable of giving someone fucked up advice, man? Come on now.
I would like to personally believe
all right, let's try this out.
I would like
let's try this out, man. Give me some fucked up advice right now. Look, I'm right now, Jay. I'm fucking pissed right now. Give me the worst advice you could possibly give me right now, please.
All right. This is what I need you to do. I need you to go get a bottle of tequila, drink it, throw it at a stranger, and then punch another one right in the middle of the street. and then go make a diss record about somebody.
I didn't say that bad.
Nah, we're just worst advice I could think of. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, you even good at that, man. Okay. All right. I was just testing you out. You know that was a test, right?
I can't do anything half-assed, man. If I'm gonna give you bad advice, it's gonna be advice that's gonna make your whole life miserable.
I was just testing you out just to see if you had that skill set, but you got it.
Yeah, I'm either gonna turn your life around and make you so far lost that you can never find your way back.
Look, that is a skill set that many possess, though. They don't even know they have it. They don't even know they have it, but they have it.
They're working on it their whole life.
Fucking giving people fucked up advice, following their own fucked up advice,
leading people astray,
leading themselves astray, all types of shit. But anywho, Jay, I'm disgruntled right now. I'm just pissed because of these. Because look, my background shaking. The Matrix is fucking.
It's a disturbance in the Matrix.
Yeah, Morpheus is a little.
Your aura is throwing it off, knocking the binary code out of whack.
Oracle's a little pissed off right now. I'm trying to tell you. Other than that, Jay, a lot going on this week and these past couple of days. We'll get into that. I don't like to start off the show with a whole bunch of seriousness and whole bunch of.
We need a bit of lightheartedness.
Why not? Why not, man? Come on, everybody's all uptight, and I see
worked up about this.
I see the culture wants to pray now. Oh, everybody should pray. Just pray for stuff like, y'all motherfuckers, man. Yo, it'd be crazy, man. When a motherfucker think he about to die, that's when he start praying, don't he?
That's when everything's different. You think you about to go to jail, you think you about to die, and you ready to quit smoking weed and stop cheating on your girl and give up the drink and get your life together. And then as soon as you're good again, all of that goes right out the window. It's just like, oh, my bad. I'll take it back.
Fuck a prayer after that. Oh, damn, ain't no bombs gonna hit today? Oh, we good. Let's go drink. Let's have a drink on that.
See, this is the problem. This is why people don't ever get what it is that they want, because they're only willing to do the things when they feel like they have no other choice. When they hit the bottom, then they want to turn everything around. Then they get back up just a little bit and they're like, oh, okay, never mind. Everything was actually okay. And then they go right back to doing what it was that they were doing.
Man. I find it interesting that no one seems to want to pray when everything is going well. When is probably the time you should be blessing, thanking the universe for your blessings. That is probably the time you should want to do it. But they wait till their back is against the wall or fucking they think they're about to die, or they're fucking laying on the bathroom floor about throwing up from alcohol and say, "Please, God, let me be sober again." And then when they're sober again, they tend to go right back to that bathroom floor. You know how this shit works, Jay. You know how this shit works.
See, this is the thing. People do everything backwards, right? Like people want to be positive when everything is going well. And when everything is going bad, that's when they want to start asking for all of these things and the forgiveness and another chance and whatnot. Like you need to flip it. You need to be positive when everything is going bad. And when things are going well is when you need to be grateful for what it is that's going on and looking for more opportunities and how you can build on it, right? But people want to stop cheating on their girl once they get caught. People want to stop committing crimes once they get arrested. Like you should have done this before. You need to keep this mentality when things are going your way so that they could continue going your way. But you only want to adopt it when things go south. Then you wonder why you can't get nowhere.
All a nigga want to do is pray and riot. Anywho. That's all a nigga good for, praying and rioting. Looting. All a nigga want to do is loot and pray. That's all motherfucker want to do, man. Gotta get the flat screen, baby. Shit, I've been praying for it.
When else are you gonna do it?
Yeah, I've been praying for the flat screen, but now I'm gonna loot for it. See how that shit work?
See,
let's be easy on him today, Jay. Let's not do it to him today, Jay.
I'm gonna do my best, but you know, it depends on it just depends on what path you point me down. Quite honestly, This is we'll see. We'll see where we go.
You mean to tell me it's up to me? I am guiding this heat-seeking Yoda missile. Pause.
It's pretty much this is pretty much what we've on. This is what it is that we've established here. So this is just how we roll.
Okay. I didn't know. This is a power. This is a superpower right now. And speaking of superpowers, because I heard an interesting quote about superpowers, and it was pertaining to. I forgot who said it. Anyway, they said, damn, my sister called. They said, they finally got rich and famous, right? And they got all these accolades and all this stuff. And then they started to act up and, step out on their wife or, just act a fool, right? And the advice that someone gave this particular person, I forgot the name or where I heard the quote from was, when you get these accolades or the money or the success, you start to feel like a superpower, a superhuman or a superhero. Even better, like a superhero. So, and the advice the dude told him was, every superhero will try out his superpowers at least once. At least once. And it's hard when you've never been a superhero. And then you get superhuman strength. You're going to probably want to test it out once or twice. Right? So equating that to having money for the first time or success for the first time or popularity for the first time, I found that interesting, actually. What do you think about that, Jay? I found it pretty interesting to kind of equate the two as being the same.
Yeah, I definitely see the parallel because the money, the fame gives you abilities that you didn't have before. But basing it off of what it sounds like this gentleman was talking about everyone's going to want to test out their superpower once, I think that goes on your perspective as to what that superpower happens to be. Because like you said, the dude was running around, he got rich and famous and wanted to go and cheat on his wife or whatnot. That is an interpretation, I guess, of that
Mhm.
superpower, but that's still taking the same exact superpower and using it for evil. Because if you take a look at Superman, Superman could test out his powers by trying to stop a bus from falling off a cliff. He could also test out those same powers by throwing a train into the ocean, right? Both of them are examples of what it is that he could do. One is for the greater good, and one is damaging to society and the people around him. So you could do the exact same thing. Yeah, you got your money. Yeah, you got your fame. And in the same sense that going and talking to some random girl who wouldn't talk to you before is a flex of those powers, so is taking your wife out to somewhere that you couldn't take her
Mm,
previously. So is going on the red carpet or whatever the case may be and showing your wife off
mm.
to the world. That's another flex of those powers as well. So I agree with the guy who equated the fame and the money to a superpower. I also agree with the idea that you're going to want to test them out. But how you choose to test them out is up to you. Like using them to do something negative, or that's not an excuse to use it to do something negative or harmful to other people.
I agree, Jay. And this is why I ask you these questions or throw you these questions or guide you in these directions because it seems like a lot of people are using their super or what are perceived to be superpowers. And how are they using them, Jay? You know, that is
For
to be
evil,
discussed.
nefariously.
There we have it. There we have it, Jay. There we have it. This is where we're heading, man. So I like to point out a couple things, and of course the elephant in the room. You know, the country is in turmoil right now, so to speak, and a lot of people uh speculating why and what can be done and what can't be done and why are things being done, and that's what people do. They speculate. We are here to read between the lines. That's what we're here to do, right? So I bring up superpowers for one thing. We're talking about imminent, or maybe, I don't want to say imminent, it's the wrong word, but war may be on the horizon,
Impending.
pending, right? We don't know, right? But a couple things I want to point out about war uh, that many people may not uh, look at war like this, but this is how I look at war. Uh, Jay, people fail to realize that there are no good guys in war. I don't think that there's no good sides in war, right, Jay? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 1000%. I think that people take movies, right, and
Yeah,
just apply that to real life, where in the movie, there's somebody who wants to steal all of the world's oil reserves and use it to burn orphanages down. And there's someone trying to stop them from doing that. And they think that that's what real life is. Like, I think that people also get things conflated, right? Where you think that if you see something happen here, we call these people terrorists if they do
mm,
something. But you have to also understand that's from the
yes,
perspective over here.
right,
On their end, they are freedom
yes,
fighters. So it depends on what end of it is that you're sitting on. But most people can't take themselves out of where it is that they are and look to the other end. Like, I'm a big believer that very few people actually go out into the world saying I'm the bad guy, I'm doing evil things, because people do what they are doing because they believe that it's the right thing to do. So everyone is in some capacity fighting for what it is that they believe to be right on some
right.
level.
So there is no good guys in war. There's, like you said, Jay, there's the side you need to win to assure your safety, being that you're a citizen of whatever side, whatever part of the war you're on. There's a side you need to win to assure your safety if you're not in the war. And then there's a side you need to lose to ensure your safety. But there's no good and there's no bad, right? I've said this before. You can't sell peace, Jay, without war. If there is peace, they would have nothing to sell you. Right? You already have it. Why would how can I sell you peace if you already have it? Right? On top of that, also I can't sell you a solution without creating a problem. Right? I have to create a 9/11 level of catastrophe to sell you certain things or to present certain solutions to you. I have to present catastrophic diseases or whatever or viruses like COVID and to present you a solution. Nah, for real, Jay. Like people need to know. This is like standard Machiavellian shit. It's like standard, man, and they just run the same shit over again. Look, there's various reasons why people war. I'd say a great percentage of the reasonings behind war is monetary, uh, territorial, for sure. Um, Nefarious, of course. Like this is, and then in this case, it might be a little bit more, in my eyes, might be a little bit more black and white than most people may see it. Maybe not as black and white as uh, some political experts might think. But what we do here is we read between the lines and we kind of simplify things and put things in layman's terms and take away a lot of gray area. Of course, you can put a lot of gray area in this shit and interject a lot of what ifs and maybes and what may happen, but and what might be happening. But our job is to simplify shit, man. Simplify shit and to knock down the gray area walls that may be presented to you and you may not see. So, Jay, I know you got a diabolical spill for this. Um, Let these motherfuckers know how to read between the lines.
So I think if you take it a step away for a minute from the specific war thing, going back to what it is that you said about they can't sell you peace if they don't first sell you war, right? So if you take a look at any industry, you take a look at the medical industry, and you have to understand that if they were to cure all diseases, they would cease to exist. If the pharmaceutical company was to have pills that or other drugs, injections that would cure you of everything, they would cease to exist. If automobile makers made a car that lasted for forever, they would cease to exist. So all of these things, continued existence relies on their continued necessity, in the same exact way that you have a military industrial complex. And if they were able to, not if they were able to, if they just created peace, then they would cease to exist. They would nullify themselves, and nobody's going to do that. And then I think as far as, so I'm not a military strategist or political landscape analyst or anything along those lines, but I am perceptive enough to know and understand that this is not the 1400s and whatnot, and this is not when Genghis Khan was running Mongolia and people would be sitting somewhere peacefully and all of a sudden an army of angry Mongolian people on horses with spears and bows and arrows would show up, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're at war now. So nowadays, everybody knows everything that's happening with everything. Everybody's spying on everybody. Everybody sees everything that everyone is doing. There's satellites. There's all kinds of stuff like that. If people truly wanted to prevent wars, there would be no wars. If people truly wanted peace, there would be peace. So the fact that there is wars brewing / starting says to me that a bunch of people wanted this war for whatever their end happens to be. I've seen all types of theories about what it could be, some World War III, some New World Order, and all of that is quite possible. But I am not there. I cannot see what they're doing. I cannot hear what it is that they're saying. All I can say is whatever it is, back in 2001, they said that Iraq had
They
weapons of
sure
mass
did.
destruction and therefore they
They
needed
sure
to go
did.
over there. And that was proven
Right.
to not be true. And now they're sitting here saying Iran has weapons of mass destruction. And it would be foolish to believe that it was a lie, because 2001 wasn't the first time they did that. It would be foolish to believe that it was a lie those past times, but this time it's true. It would be foolish to believe that no one know that they didn't tell you why they went to World War II, that they didn't tell you why they went to Vietnam, that they didn't tell you why they went to the Iraq war, but now, or Afghanistan, whatever it is. But now they're telling you why it is that this is happening. Yes, they're
Mhm.
telling you a thing, but there is no way that this is the actual reason that it's happening. And I've also seen people again talking about Iran bombed Israel and say Israel knew that that was going to happen and they let them do that so they would be able to have
Mhm.
justification to retaliate. And that makes the
Me
absolute
too.
most sense to me because everybody, I mean, maybe not everybody, but it's reasonably common knowledge that the Mossad is like the foremost intelligence
In the
agency
world.
in the world. They know what's happening. And just like when Iran, a few hours ago or yesterday, depending on whatever it is that anyone sees this, when Iran went to try and bomb U.S. bases in Qatar, the U.S. saw it coming and
Down,
shot
yep.
the missiles down. You think they didn't see the missiles coming to Israel? You think they couldn't have shot those ones down? They did not because they
Yep.
wanted them to hit. Like this is all very basic play stuff. Again, I'm not sitting here saying that I know exactly what their end game is. All I can say is it's not what they're telling you it is, and this is not happening despite what they want.
That's a fact, man, and I agree wholeheartedly. You know, we talk behind the scenes, and I send you stuff, and of course, stuff that makes sense to me usually makes sense to you. Um, I agree with the same notion that they knew exactly what was happening, and they of course, let that happen, and I think we know at least the next couple of steps, right? Like I agree with you. I don't know the end game, and I don't claim to know the end game. We could speculate all we want. Um, and yeah, we like to speculate here, but we also when we do our speculations, it's also off of um actions and reactions, and just looking at reading the room, man. We read the room here, and as we read the room, we try to read it to you in real time. So we are not just speculating off of what other people are saying. We are reading the actual room. We are taking in consideration of what we're seeing online, and we are deducting or deducing what can be what that makes the most sense, right? And that deduction makes the most sense, right? And then the most what I see happening next, of course, is a retaliation, and then the U.S. steps in, and then so forth and so on, right? And it'll behoove the U.S. to step in, and because, like we said, it is a monetary thing, it's a territorial thing, um, and it'll make sense. But here's my thing, Jay. Here's my thing. When people think that it's a regime, at least in the U.S., they think that this wouldn't have happened with another regime. That's foolish to think.
Man, here here's this is the problem with the way, not with the way they've set things up, but with the way that people have taken to the way that they've set things up, is that everything again is so split down the middle and partisan, in that the Democrats blame the Republicans for everything and the Republicans blame the Democrats for everything. And what you have to understand is at the end of the day, these are all part of the exact same organization, and the people in charge are not the people who are
Not at
truly
all.
in charge. This is what it is that the powers that be wanted to happen. So this is what it was that was going to happen. They even had the thing, it was a few years ago, Tucker Carlson went to Russia and he spoke to
Putin.
Vladimir
Putin. Yeah.
Putin, and he said, Putin, however you say his name, and Putin, whatever, said, I don't deal with your president. I deal with the
He said that.
CIA.
He said
Now,
that.
it would seem to me that the commander in chief would be the one who deals with the head of the other nation. Because what did you put him here for? If you have a Fortune 500 company, the CEOs meet with the CEOs. It's not you send your sales team to meet with the CEO. That's absolutely insane. Unless your sales team is the one who's actually in charge of the company and you were just a figurehead. You were just there to make them all look the way that they would like to make them look, and you are the scapegoat, and you are the fall guy, and you are the pay attention to this guy while we go do the things that we are doing things. So the CIA or whoever it might be is still the same people from when Biden was in office, from when Trump was in office the first time, from when Obama was in office, from all of these things. Like, and there's another thing Putin had said about the every president comes into office with all of these dreams,
Yeah.
and then men
Black
in
suit.
suits with
Yep.
briefcases show up and tell him how things actually
Actually
work.
come.
Because the the idea that, so if you look at the government system from just a common sense perspective, right? The idea that, so they have this thing, the three different branches, right? And each one could cancel itself out. Like, as far as actually wanting to get anything done, that doesn't even make any sense. You just have this big old circle of nothing ever happening. It doesn't make sense from an actual efficiency or productivity standpoint. But what it does make sense is to have something, or from a standpoint of having something to point to the people and say, this is why we can't get anything done. Because this is what it is that you're supposed to watch while the behind the scenes stuff happen. It's just like if you watch the making of a movie, right? You see this little square, and this is what happens on the screen. You got Captain America fighting Black Panther or whatever. But when you go to the making of, behind it, there's all kinds of people with light sticks and cameras and twirling around and rigs and all of that stuff. What they're showing you is vastly different from what's actually taking place. And people have become so accustomed to believing that what they see on the screen is real, they've forgotten about the behind the scenes. They want to go to the Broadway show and watch what happens on the stage, and they don't think about anything that's happening behind the curtain. This is the exact same way that the country and all of this other stuff is right. You don't know what's happening. They're
Mhm.
showing you what they would like
Absolutely.
you to see. They have the exact same thing when everyone was all up in arms about Gaza and everything. What they were showing you on the TV was drastically different than
Facts.
the footage that people were personally posting on
Now,
Twitter.
Jay, that's a great point. And now people have been diverted away from what's happening in Gaza at the moment. Right. I think me and you know what's happening right there at the moment. It's fucking slaughter, man. Fuck, they're slaughtering those people, right? But no one, the attention has been diverted away from what's happening in Gaza. Those people are being absolutely slaughtered. There's no coverage. There's no internet. They have no internet there. There's no way you can see anything. But we are not discussing that because of what's happening with Iran and this and that and so forth and so on. But like you said about what Putin said, and it's fucking accurate, man. Putin, he said it. Or Putin, whatever the fuck is. Get the computers Putin, Jay.
Boogity
Get the
boopity.
computers Putin. Um, but yeah, like you said, I don't know, man. I don't know why we're so fucking jovial about this subject, but whatever. I'm trying to keep a straight face here. Putin did say exactly what you said. He answers to the CIA, which is I find that telling. Like, come on now. Um, and the CIA is openly close with Mossad. Am I not? Am I off beat with this one, or they're like hand in hand? Right? Am I bugging? And I'll say this, man. With the whole administration and this is why this is why I think people voted Trump in because they thought things would change. He promised that he wouldn't go for this. He right? Am I wrong? He was like, nah, he was on that man shit. Oh nah, we ain't doing that. We gonna do something different. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Like me, I didn't vote, so I don't give a fuck. Sounds good, right? I believe it when I see it. So he made a lot of promises. He did not keep those promises. Now, why did he not keep these promises? I like to know. I like to read between the lines. Why would any president keep their promise? I do believe if Kamala or Biden, whoever was in office, things will be a lot more quieter. They'll be still slaughtering people, but it'll just be a lot more quieter. You wouldn't hear about it as much, because Trump is a boisterous character. Uh, he's a gregarious character, and you see these things, and but you know what I find interesting, Jay? I'm gonna dig a little deep, and I might be reaching, might not be reaching, but I'm reading between the lines. I'm trying to at least. I found it interesting when Elon tweeted Trump is on that list. I didn't find it as interesting at the time. I'm like, all right, we all knew that. I kind of knew that. He probably was on that island. Or Epstein, him and Epstein was definitely hobnobbing and rubbing elbows at some point. So I didn't really find that too. But now looking back I'm like, why did he tweet that? Right? Okay, hold on. What's going on here? Why does Trump seem like he has his balls in a fucking ringer, right? What is going on here, and why would Elon tweet that at that moment, knowing he it's not like when they was buddies, butt buddies, or whatever they was. He knew all about this. He knew all about the list and if he was on it or not. Why would he present that now? I can only speculate. Now, I'll do my little black and white simplification for many. Um, it just looks like Western men being blackmailed by Mossad. And I believe Epstein fucked all y'all up. He fucked y'all up. That's what I believe. And when I mean y'all, I mean the U.S. Epstein threw a fucking uh, he fucked shit up. That's what I believe. He really fucked shit up. How big of a part do you think Epstein played in what's going on as of now, Jay?
So I don't know, man. I'm kind of at the point where I'm just like, what is actually real? Because one part of me says, if Trump was on the Epstein list, I feel like when the Biden administration had it, would have burned down everything to get that man arrested, because
most of them was on the list though, Jay.
But see, this is the thing. They got rid of Biden. They threw him to the side. Why would they not have sacrificed him then too? They fucking murdered Kennedy. Like, if this is clearly, they're not. Clearly, even no matter at the highest level, these people are just pawns to whoever it is playing the chess game, right? But the longer that this goes on, the more that I question, what is the Epstein list really truly? Right?
Word.
So, like, at a certain point, you have either just everybody in the fucking world is on this thing, or maybe it's not even, like, I don't know. It could be anything. So, like I said, I'm at the point where I'm just like, what's real and what's not? Because everything that you could think of and that you could find and that you could go back is a lie. All of it's fake. 9/11's fake. COVID's fake. This is fake. The fucking Ukraine shit was lies. Fucking Watergate was a lie. Pearl Harbor was a lie. World War II. All of it's lies.
Was Hitler a lie, Jay?
It just comes to the point. This is what I'm saying too. Here's what I know.
Wait, hold on, Jay. Before you answer that, what I mean by lie. So let's rectify what I mean by was Hitler a lie. I don't mean what he did was a lie. What I mean is the message that we received, was it convoluted a little bit? Was he
So
I don't want to say he was on this. I'm just saying was his message diluted a bit, or was it purposely tampered with? And when it got by the time it got to us, we kind of heard a third story, and like we said, the victors tell a story, you know, rewrites history. So what do you think about that, Jay?
so
I don't mean to put you on the spot now,
I
but
know every
it's me and you though. It's me and
no,
you.
here's I know that everyone's super sensitive about this topic, and I'm going to pay absolutely no regard to that. I don't care. So here's the thing. I'm gonna start off here. What I think that benefited the narrative around this man is the fact that he spoke German, and German is an extremely aggressive language. Like my mother speaks German, and my grandmother spoke German almost exclusively. And when they would talk, it would sound like they were fighting. There are several like that, like Serbian. They sound very, very aggressive. So I saw a clip on Joe Rogan where they played a clip of a Hitler speech. It sounds like he's just saying all kinds of terrible, evil shit. And then they translated it and had someone say it in English. And I'm like, oh, well, what he's saying isn't anything crazy. This all sounds perfectly reasonable here. Now, I'm not here. I wasn't alive 80 years ago, back in the 40s. I was nowhere near alive. So what I can say is this. Now what I look at is, we'll use Trump as an example. There was a thing like it was Charlottesville or Charlottetown, wherever it was, where they had a thing about him talking about there's good people on both sides of the thing, and people were sitting there trying to frame this as him defending the white supremacists. But when you take the full context of the speech, what he was saying is there are good people who wanted to stay up and good people who wanted to come down. There are good people on both sides, which is a much more reasonable statement than what it is that they made him sound like. And in the past decade or so, they've painted Trump as Hitler, and he's clearly not that, right? So this makes me think of what narratives do they have to write about somebody from 80 some odd years ago? And when you think about the fact that people over here want him to be gone, maybe the German powers that be wanted him to be gone too, so they agreed in writing that particular sort of narrative. Now, what I have come to notice, at least in the past little bit, is every single person that the media smears as this terrible person is kind of being lied about, right? Like when Joe Rogan was talking about the ivermectin or whatever during COVID, they painted him as some sort of crazy, whacked out person who is... Yeah, and they even recolored his skin to make him yellow and look like he was dying. They did the same thing to Alex Jones. They make him seem like he's just out of his mind. They did it to Russell Brand. They do it to Conor McGregor. They do it to Andrew Tate. They do it to Candace Owens. And for the longest time, I thought Candace Owens was a crazy person until I actually listened to what it was that she had to say. And I'm like, oh, she's speaking sense. The things that she's saying make sense. They did the same thing with Kanye. Now, Kanye kind of toed that line a little bit.
He's an entertainer, though. He's an entertainer.
He is an entertainer. He's not the most well-spoken individual in the world either. But the thing with Kanye is when you actually sit down and listen to what it is that he's saying, and he's given the opportunity to kind of expand upon his points, they make a lot more sense than the little sound bites that they throw out. But they want people to think Kanye's crazy. Now people think Kanye's crazy. They want people to think Trump is evil. Now they think Trump is evil. They want people to think that Andrew Tate and Conor McGregor, all of these people are evil. So people think that they are evil without taking the actual time to go and see what it is that these people are saying. Now, these people are still currently existing, so you're able to get a little bit more context. But from everything back then, you're only able to see what it is that they show you. Now, if the news is lying to you about what people are doing currently, history books are just old news functionally. So what makes you think that they were telling the truth about people back then? Now, again, I'm not sitting here making the argument that he's a good person. I'm not making the argument that he did or didn't do anything. What I'm saying is the way that the media and reporters conduct themselves have led me to believe that what they say about him is probably not the truth.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But you know what? That's an interesting point about the German accent and how aggressive it appears to be. Even last episode, I made a joke about, the Korean accent sounding like they fucking are upset all the time. And you are correct. I never heard that point being made that when you hear a German accent and the German language being spoken, it sounds terrible. All of it. You could be saying the most kindest things, and it just sounds like I will stab you in the back of your throat and rip your heart out. Nah, that's what it sounds like.
It's all of those Eastern European countries that sound like back in the day, mad long ago, I dated this girl. She was Croatian and Serbian, and her and her mother spoke Croatian or Serbian, one of the two. And I would hear them talk, and I thought that they were fighting all of the time. And like, why do you and your mother hate each other so much? And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, all you ever do is fight. She's like, what? No, we're never fighting. We're just having conversation. But the language sounds so angry and aggressive that everything sounds like threats. Everything sounds just vitriolic whenever they say it because of the way that it's made up.
No one's ever viewed that with that angle, Jay. So I'll give you that credit. One thing, Jay, and we don't have to edit this out, but I do have to use the bathroom with extreme measures right now. So we don't have to edit it. We could, and then you could clip it up. But
all good. I'm just going to
pause. But you could pause it after this. But let the audience knows that we in the shits right now, literally. So
facts.
So give me like a.
We will return.
We're back.
Now we're
God
back.
Damn it! That was the most historical urine that's ever been taken on camera. God damn it! And it was taken by me. Nah. Hey, look, motherfuckers. I'm blaming it. Look, they don't want us to tell the truth. That's what it is. They attacked my bladder, Jay.
It's fact.
My bladder was under attack. They did it on purpose.
Matrix
they
attack.
Did it on purpose. I'm back. Fuck them.
That's what happens when you say too many facts. Fact.
Anywho, Jay, back to what the fuck we were saying. Look. Look, like I said, man, at the end of the day, there's no good guys, no bad guys in war. Well, yeah, maybe bad guys. So what am I saying there? There's some fucking bad guys in war. But there is no fucking good guys in war. And what I'll ask you, Jay, how should the average Joe Schmo be analyzing what's going on in their current state right now?
So here's the thing, man, and people hate this because they think it's somehow wrong or something along those lines. But the thing is, at the end of the day, there is not a single thing that you can do about whatever these war efforts, war games, war narratives are. All that you can affect is your own personal self and your own personal life. So What everybody should be doing in these times is the same things that they should be doing in other times, and that is trying to become the best version of yourself that you possibly can be. You need to be in good shape. You need to make more money. You need to be a better person. You need to be able to provide for your family and take care of your loved ones and yourself and all of these things, because this is and will always be the only thing that you can affect. I see so many people so wrapped up in these deep, in-depth debates online talking about this is happening and this is happening and Iran shouldn't have nuclear missiles, and they're lying about Iran having nuclear missiles, and Israel this and America this and Russia. You can't do anything about any of this. Maybe you're all right. Who cares? Maybe you're all wrong. Who cares? None of it matters. You're not even relevant enough to be a pawn in this. So focus on you. Better yourself, because what's going to happen is going to happen whether you know about it or not. It doesn't matter. And the fact of the matter is, even the people who want to sit there and say they need to be prepared for something, if most people got a 24-hour heads up that their neighborhood was going to be bombed tomorrow, there's absolutely nothing that they could do about it. And you should not be okay with that. You couldn't even get yourself out of a situation that you had heads up in, which is insane. So that's what you need to work on.
They can always pray, Jay.
They won't start till the bombs
are
falling.
Always pray, man. I pray this missile won't hit me in my chest. You know, you can always hope for the best, I guess. Like, I don't like to brag, and I don't like to say I told you so. And nah, Jay, I'm lying. Who doesn't like to say I told you so? Everybody likes to say that. But I'll refrain from saying everybody likes that shit. Like, I told you, you dumb motherfucker. But look, we're not gonna do that here. But I'd make this point, man. You people, we have to become better room readers, better people readers, because we are terrible at this, man. You don't have to be a political genius or a fucking economical fucking savant, or look, you don't have to be any of these things, man. All you got to do is read the room, man. Like when I when I left the country years ago, people looked at me like I was fucking nuts. It's like, yo, read the room, dog. And it wasn't like it wasn't no fucking Trump thing. It wasn't no Kamala thing. I just read the room, man. It's like, my dollars could be spent better elsewhere for the most part. Read the room, man. Like when it came down to injection that nobody really was too sure about it. Well, some people were sure about it, but many people wasn't sure about it. But like, it was like, I don't think I should do that. People thought I was crazy, man. They thought I was crazy, man. They probably thought you were crazy, and crazy the way you conduct yourself in many aspects of life. Stop looking at people who do things differently as crazy, because now I'm looking at it like, I'm gonna just do the opposite of what everybody else is doing, because all of y'all motherfuckers is just wrong at everything. You do nothing right. I could just literally do the opposite of everything you do and be correct like 90-something% of the time. It's like, this shit is too easy. Yo, this dude, they doing this, go that way. They doing this, go that way. And then as long as you don't give a fuck about what people say, you're fine. Because when I go that way, the opposite way of the herd, because the herd is 99%, the herd is a herd for a reason, right? How many fucking sheep have been right? They've all been led to slaughter, motherfucker. There's never been a right sheep. There's not one sheep alive like, I'm right. I told you. I said, not one. They all dead. Only the wolves survive. So what I would do is, even if you are sheep, follow a wolf. Follow one. This dude, he doing something different. Let me at the least of your intelligence, at the very least, you should be able just to follow someone who you think doing the right thing. I'm gonna follow that guy. That guy's been alive and doing well, and he's successful. He's doing this, and this. I'm gonna follow that guy. But what you do, you follow the herd who have been Democrats or the Republicans for 40 years without any change, without anything, nothing. No one's coming to save them, but they still follow the same regime or the same ideologies. All these other, but look, I'm gonna follow the herd. No, at the very least, just do the fucking opposite. Everybody's fucking idiots. Just do the opposite. I'm dang, come on now. It's not even that hard.
Man,
it's not even that hard.
It's not, because the thing is, people always say, well, I don't know what to do. And common sense says, look at what everyone else is doing, and then don't do that. Like, people love their statistics, except when they can be applied in common sense ways. The vast majority of the country is obese.
Yeah.
The vast majority of people are broke. The vast majority of people are depressed. If you're doing what they're doing, then you are going in the wrong direction. And you see the people, the crazy thing is, they see the people who go in the other direction, who get somewhere better, and still refuse to go that way. They see everybody going to the right, and it sucks to the right. And then they see like two people go to the left. It looks great over there, but they still won't go that way. It is absolute insanity, because they're still with their thing of, well, most people go this way, so this must be the right way to go. Why? Most people are completely failing at life. Most people are miserable. Most people's lives are terrible. Why are you still going the same direction that they are going? Why are you doing what they're doing? Why are you in the packed drive-through lines? If I'm driving up the street and I see a drive-through with a crazy long line, I'm like, well, I don't want to eat there. Why? Because all of them do. So therefore, I must not, maybe I clearly should not go there. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. So many times, there are so many times when I am getting off the freeway or going to get on the freeway, and there are two lanes, two left turning lanes, and one lane is packed full of cars, and the other lane is completely empty. And I drive past all of these other cars to get to the front and be like, well, this lane's completely open. Why did none of you go here? Because you guys can't help but to follow. You are so afraid to think for yourself, to stand out from the crowd, that even the objectively, obviously better lane to go in is open, but you won't go there because nobody else did. And you must have sat there and thought, well, they're not in that lane. There must be a reason that they're not. It's not. They're just not in that lane because nobody else is in that lane, and they just pile up with everybody. And now they've made themselves, half of them miss the light because the line is so long, but they still can't even think, and still are so afraid to be different that they won't even sit there and do it driving. This is why they don't do it in real life. This is why they never go against the crowd of people, and they never go in the opposite direction and try and forge their own path, because they are so desperate to go with everybody else, even though everybody else is absolutely, clearly lost. They say it all of the time. Why do you think everybody is struggling? They're all doing the same exact thing. Stop doing what they're doing if you don't want to struggle like them. Why do you think everybody's depressed? They all do the same thing. Stop doing what they're doing if you don't want to be depressed. This is absolutely insane.
Crazy, man.
Insanity.
It's crazy.
It's
man.
ridiculous.
We trying to wake y'all up, man. That's it, man. Hey, yo, man. Let me tell you something. I don't mean to harp on this shit, man. Ain't no praying gonna help you, man. Go ahead and go. Listen, man. Look, I'm just trying to help. Listen. Like Jay say, like Jay said, look, Jay, if you said it yourself, if you got 24-hour notice, or let's be fair. Let's say a week. You got a week notice. Yo, man, shit about to go down. You mean to tell me you're going to spend most of that time praying? Or are you going to spend most of that time trying to solve the problem. Get the fuck out, defend yourself, do whatever the fuck you got to do, right? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell people this once. You don't pray in the midst of turmoil. You react in the midst of turmoil. You come up with solutions and you think and use discernment in the midst of turmoil. You don't get on your knees and start praying. You pray if you want to pray. Pray after everything works out. If everything works out, because you used all your fucking tactics and all your ability to get the fuck out of this situation. And you did that because you used your ability and your actions and your discernment. You used everything in your ability to get out of the situation. And you made it out. You saved your family, everyone around you. And you say, well, thanks. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Whatever you want to thank. You pray that you pray now. Right? Don't pray when yo man, yeah, shit's fucked up, man. We all gotta pray. Nah, man, listen. You sit there and pray. I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna try to live. Right? I'm Bruce Willis, Jay. I'm hard to fucking kill, man. I'm Bruce Willis, man. I'm John McClane, man. I'm hard to assassinate, Jay. No, I know what Jay. What John McClane ain't getting on his knees to pray. He dying hard, man. What are we talking about?
So here's the thing. The other day I said that prayer is action. And a bunch of people got super mad.
How could you get mad at that?
Here's the thing. Because people are ridiculous. This is the thing. People sit here and they try and argue with this, right? And they're like, no, praying is going and talking to God and asking for stuff. It's like, here's the thing. Do you know how many people do that? And do you know how many people have absolutely nothing? Because you know what very few people do? Take action to things. If you want something, if you want the universe, if you want God, if you want whoever to give you something, then you need to do the thing in order to get that thing. Because if you sit on your couch all day long, every day, just eating and watching Netflix and praying to have muscles, you are not going to have any muscles. But if you get up in the morning or in the afternoon or at night and go to the gym and work out, you will get the muscles. Which one is the thing that's paying off? If you believe that prayer is going to pay off for you, do you think it's asking or do you think it's taking action? Because only one of these two things will get you what it is that you are after. And the idea that you could just sit around and request things and they'll be given to you, like people have this thing, like people swear that they're Christians and they believe in the Bible and all of this stuff. They're like, well, the Bible says if you ask for it, it shall be given. Well, maybe that doesn't mean asking as sitting there requesting. Maybe it means that asking is going out and offering, is going out and doing the thing. Because if you want to improve your life and you do things to improve your life will improve. How many people sit around every single night begging for money to pay their bills and still get evicted? How many people sit around all of the time begging to beat their cancer and still die from it? How many times do people sit around begging for their relationship to be saved or their girl to come back to them and they're still sitting there lonely because they didn't do anything? But there are so many people who get into situations, it's a bad situation, they go and try and make some money, they get the money to fix their situation, or they go and do the thing necessary to fix their relationship, because at the end of the day, the universe rewards effort. If you do a thing, you will get the thing back. So most people think it's asking. Again, most people don't have what it is that they would like. So it would stand to reason that most people are wrong about what it is. If you want something, go do the thing, you will get the thing. Congratulations, you have prayed and God has answered your prayers now because you did the thing and you were given something in return for it, because that's how life works, period. You can go out and do all of the things necessary, you will get a thing and not say a word, because you asking is you taking action. On the other hand, you could sit around, do absolutely nothing, ask for everything in the world, and you will get nothing because you didn't actually ask. You just sat there hoping and wishing.
Absolutely. I seen this clip, and I can't, of course, I'm a quote butcherer on this show, That's what I do. I butcher quotes, but you'll get the gist. Hey, Jay, they'll get the gist. They'll get the gist. Some guy was saying that they was asking him about praying, and he was like, "Well, people don't know that they will never reach or ever feel the effects of God because they spend time praying without action. There's no there's no God without action. There's no universe without action." So, and he was saying that you spend most of your time searching for this being when he's right in front of your face. The light is in us. The universe is in us. We affect everything around us. So why would I sit around to pray for something that I can go and get myself? That doesn't make sense. I know it's white and I know it's black and white, and it's a lot of gray area that can be added to that. But again, I will say it. Why will I pray? Why would I pray for something that I can get up and get myself? I can actually use what was blessed with for me, my legs, my mind, my arms. And some people are not even blessed with those things, and they still get the things they want. Dudes in wheelchairs and armless and mental disabilities. They get there's cases of people going out there achieving their dreams, and you're sitting there praying. What the fuck are you doing, man? I don't get it. What are you doing? Like, all right, so like I said, you get up and you get what you can sit down and pray for. You get up and you get what you can sit down and pray for. Because ain't nothing coming to you, man. No Messiah, no motherfucking savior. No one's coming to save you. There's no Messiah. No one's coming to help you. There's no spirit coming to lift you up off your couch and to help you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Jay? Like, or bring you to safety, or that's like if you're fucking in a catastrophic situation, and let's say let's say you're on a boat, right? And someone falls over the boat, someone you love falls over the boat. Are you going to sit there and pray that they're okay? That's not gonna fucking help them, man. And then if so be it, they survive. Or you say, well, I prayed, but it was my prayer that did it. Motherfucker, jump over the boat, jump over the railing, and come save me, motherfucker. Have the ability, train for life. Train for life. I don't want you to pray for me when I fell over the boat. I want you to dive in and come get me, man. I don't want do
Stick your
something,
hand
man.
out or something.
I don't want you to. Well, yeah, and then after Joe Schmo jumps in and saves me, and he brings me aboard, and he's pressing on my chest, and I'm spitting up water, and then I come to, and I look at you, the person I love. Wow, it was my prayer. It was my prayer that got you here. God damn it! It was my prayer. I'm gonna look at you like you're a damn fool. I'm like, nah, it was Eric. Eric saved me, motherfucker. That's your motherfucking prayer. Eric saved me, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck you talking about? Your prayer? Eric did that shit. You feel me? Like, what are we talking about, man? Anyway, I don't mean to make light of this shit, but I have to, man, because a lot of y'all are fucking idiots.
Nah, I'm I agree fully because, again, I don't agree with the concept that, even if you would like to go with the prayer thing, like I don't agree with the concept that sitting there just begging for stuff or asking for stuff. I think is doing things. If you're not going to do anything, you're not going to get anything, period. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is that you believe in. And honestly, we've talked about this before. If you truly believed in something, then you would go out and do the thing because you believe that it would work out. Like, your faith should guide you through the activities necessary to get you to where it is that you would like to be, not just sitting there on your knees at night begging for your life to be improved while you just sit around waiting for something to happen. That's never going to be the case. But I think this is why people like that as a concept, because the idea of it is that if you wish for something hard enough, then you will get it, and that doesn't require any work or effort or anything along those lines, and they just want to be given these things and bestowed random amazing things without having to do anything to earn them. And it's why they never get anything. Like, it doesn't matter what you ask for if you're not going to do anything about it. This is not your Christmas list when you were a child. Like, if you want something, you have to go get it,
Absolutely,
period.
and you have to prepare also. I think preparation has a lot to do with most of the things we are talking about, man. Like, if you are not prepared to do the things or take the actions, if you're not prepared, like I, I know I brought up the boat analogy and me falling over the boat, but if you're not, if you can't swim, then you can't fucking save it. You feel me? So if you're not prepared, you have to train for life. If you're not, how about if you're not even mentally prepared? Like, maybe you can swim. Well, maybe you're not mentally prepared to jump over a boat to save someone, and not just someone you love, right? So it's more than just taking action. You, it has a lot to do with being prepared, right? Are you prepared? Yeah, even if we do give you a week's notice, oh, listen, man, they finna bomb, they finna fuck shit up in a week. Are you prepared mentally, physically, spiritually to bust a move when it's time to move? To protect your family, to protect your loved ones. Are you prepared to do it? You might want to take action, but you might not be prepared to do it. So preparation is key, right? What they say, Jay, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Oh, that's an
Ain't
old
got to get
saying, but they
ready.
say it anyway. It's old, but they say it, Jay. You know,
I mean,
I
it's a
like to I
fact.
like to get into something a little different, Jay. Um, I just thought of something. It didn't piss me off, but I found it interesting. Um, Someone said online they were talking to me in particular. They
Hmm.
said they was disappointed in me. Some shit. I don't know. I forget why. I thought to myself, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Here's why, Jay. Hold on. I don't give a fuck. You think that matters? But here's why, Jay. I like to expound on that. I just don't want to say I don't give a fuck. I don't. But here's why, Jay. Right? And I know that you would have a great take on this, but you, because a lot of people are disappointed in you too, Jay. They you disappoint a lot of motherfuckers out there, man. And we both do. We both do.
That's a fact.
People who don't matter at that matter to us, but anywho, it is a subject that we could read between the lines on. So, but here's why. Here's my theory. Like, you can only really disappoint someone who has set a standard for you by them. They set the standard,
Hmm.
and you have to uphold the standard that they set. What? Why would I give a fuck about the standard you set for me? My standards are much higher. Why would I give a fuck about your standards that you set? Who asked you to set a standard for me? to disappoint, because you can only be disappointed if you had an expectation. Why would you have these expectations or standards that I have to uphold? Someone you don't even know from a can of paint. I have to uphold your standards. Are you fucking kidding me, dog? I don't give a fuck if I disappoint you. I make myself proud, motherfucker. I make my family proud. I make everyone around me proud. I don't want to uphold the standard that you set for me, and the bar is fucking low as shit at that. You feel me? Like, I got a standard that I set for myself, which is godly, kingly. If I'm not setting that, then I'm disappointed. I disappoint myself, but I don't give a fuck if I disappoint you. I just had to get out. I was a little rant, Jay. I just had to but I know that you disappoint people on a daily basis. They say, Jay, I'm disappointed. Yoda, why would you say such a thing? Use that such vulgar language, Jay. You're disappointing me.
Man, I hear that all of the time where people will sit there and pop up and say, maybe not specifically I'm disappointed in you, but some variant of that, in that you should say this but not use curse words, or you shouldn't say this, or you shouldn't say that, or you should be talking like I don't care, man. And this is the problem, is that people are so entitled that they will sit there and look at somebody and say, I have these expectations for you. You don't know me. You don't owe me anything. But in my mind, it is now up to you to uphold these expectations that I have set for you. And then when you don't do that, they get mad at you. Or then when you do something differently, they get mad at you. Like, I've had people who will send me a message randomly that says, I really like this video that you did. I liked what you said, but you need to re-record it with no curse
Oh
words so I
my
could send it to this
god,
specific
yo.
person. And I'm like, I don't understand who you believe yourself
Come
to be,
on.
or who you believe that I think that you are. But this is at like the insanity behind some of these things that some of these people say is, but that again, this just goes to what it is we were talking about last episode. Is most people seek the validation of others to the point where they assume that if they were to tell someone else that they're disappointed in them, or they want them to do something different, that that person will feel the level of hurt that they would have, and feel the obligation that they would have to change themselves for it. Like, I understand that you answer to,
Yeah.
not you, but people, I understand that you answer to the beck and call of every single other person that you come across, but I am not that. You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to appreciate the way that I say things and or care for it. But I'm still going to say things the way that I say them, because that is what it is that I want to do for myself. And I focus on my standards for me. I am accomplishing my goals. I am doing what it is that I am supposed to do. I am walking my path. I do not care how it is that you feel about it. I don't care how you feel about the types of steps that I take. I do not care how you feel about how it is that I conduct myself, because I conduct myself in the way that I want to conduct myself. And when I look at myself in the mirror, when I lay down at the end of the night, I am proud of me and the things that I have done. And that is
That's
all
it.
that matters to me. I don't know you. I don't care. And 9 times out of 10, if I do know you, I probably still also do not care, because again, I have very, very high standards for myself. And if you have a problem with that, that is a you problem. I'm not sitting here running around telling people how it is that they should behave or how it is that they should conduct themselves. You do you, or don't. It's all the same to me, because I'm going to do me. I'm going to do my thing, and I will be good with that. And one of the biggest things that hold people back is the fact that they need
Mm.
approval from every single other person in the world, and they will crumble when somebody says that they do not like them or that they have a problem with it. Like, people will ask me all of the time, like, how do you deal with hate? Like, I don't care. You don't, that's fine. You don't like,
That's
some people
crazy.
don't like me. Such is life. Some people have a problem with me. Such is life. Some people send me weird death threats. Okay, cool. Such is life, man. I don't care. This is not, I'm not here to
Let me ask
please
you something.
everybody. And quite honestly, the way that I speak, if I thought that I was going to please
Yeah,
everybody,
no,
I'd be an
for real.
idiot.
Yeah, and it's impossible for Yoda to be that. But let me ask you something, Yoda. Since you brought up hate, right? And haters, and how do you deal with the hate? here's how I deal with it. First of all, it's not a thing. But I told this one dude that was look. He was hating on me. And I was like, I think I was talking to somebody else or in the comments, and I was like, well, this guy's clearly a fan. Hate, love, you're a fan. So it's okay though. Sometimes fans are disappointed, but they're still a fan. Oh, I'm not a fucking fan. He said, I'm not a fucking fan of you. But clearly you are, because you're taking the time out of your luxurious busy day to fucking comment on a stupid picture that I posted or whatever the case may be. Whatever I posted. I forgot what it was. But you must be a fan. Um, I equated to this. Look, I'm a sports guy. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a diehard Giants fan. Um, I cursed him out. I say, I hate you. You fucking suck. Like last year, I'm like, yo, you fuck. I hate y'all. I hate the. Look. I will tweet at them at Giants. I hate your fucking guts. Does that mean I'm not a fan, Jay? I'm just trying to. I'm trying to. I know it's simple. I know
Not
it's
at all,
simple. I know
man.
it's simple, and people be like, it's different. It's not different. It's not different. It's not different. It's not different. Look,
It's not.
I'm still a fan.
It's not.
I'm still a fan. I might hate your guts right now, but let you win that Super Bowl. I'm cheering. So, or let you win a game or whatever the case may be. I'm a cheer for you. So I'm a fan. That's what I'm a fanatic. You're a fanatic. It's okay to be a fanatic, dog. You're not a hater. People people want to take the credit for
Here,
people want to take the credit for being a hater. Well, you get no credit. You're a fanatic. And it's okay. And I know it's not an insult, because I'm a fanatic. I'm just not a fanatic of you, but I am a fanatic of other things. So let's leave that there, Jay. Yeah, go ahead, chime in, Jay. But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna leave that there. You're a fucking fan.
so here's the thing. There, to me, in my world, there is no such thing as a hater. Like, if you sit here and you watch everything that I do, whether you have something negative or positive to say about it, you're still supporting it. You're still participating in this. You are still consuming it. It doesn't matter. Like, when people are like, well, they like to hate watch TV shows. It's like, okay, you're still supporting this TV show. Back in the day when people were mad about the Redskins and they were
Right,
buying the
right.
jerseys and burning them, it's like, no, they don't care. This
Nope.
isn't harmful to anything. You're a supporter. You just go about it stupidly. And not only that, though, on a separate thing, to people who worry about being hated on, right? Or people saying negative things about them. Now, I know this isn't possible and it's prohibitive to the way that the algorithm works, so we're just going to hypothetical here. Imagine someone made a video or took a picture or something like that, made a song and put it up on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube, and it got 1 million views and no likes and no comments, no shares, no saves, no nothing. That would be so much worse than thousands of people telling you that this sucks, because at least they care about it if they're taking the
Right.
time to say negative things to you. You affected this person in some way, and that is a positive. Just like if you're in school and you get bullied, yeah, I imagine, sure, that probably sucks. But what would be worse than that if none of the teachers or other kids talked to
Mm-hmm.
you, period? They didn't even
There, yeah.
acknowledge that you were there. They didn't call on you in class. They didn't make fun of you. They didn't even try to steal your lunch money. They didn't ask you. If everyone just ignored you, that would be so
Exactly.
much worse, because the opposite of love is apathy. It is not hate. So people not caring about what you do at all is so much worse than people not liking what it is
I
that you
agree
do.
100%. Like, I want to affect you in some type of way. You need to, like, if I drop an album, I either want you to hate it or love it, but not to think anything of it. Who the fuck wants that?
That's the worst. That would be so
So much
much
worse.
worse. Like I would rather random people insult me than
Well,
everybody
it's
ignore
the
me.
kids and the grown ups that get ignored. They do the crazy shit, right? They're the depressed motherfuckers who shoot up schools and rape and pillage and whatever.
You know,
Yeah,
bomb stuff and
they're being
whatnot
ignored.
just to get some
They're
sort of
being ignored.
notoriety.
Those people, because here's the thing, too, Jay. Especially when you're doing something, it's not like you're doing something immoral. You're doing something you believe you were put here to do, something you love, and people can hate it. It's cool. People could love it. It's cool. That's life, right? You
That's
got to
life.
deal with that. You're not doing anything immoral. Like, oh, you got to stop what you're doing. It's not. No, you're just doing something. What if you're doing comedy on Instagram and you're doing your comedy videos and no one thinks it's funny, but they're commenting. You're doing. You're not hurting anyone. Why would you? Why would you care? Why would you care, man? Keep.
See, this is the thing. People don't
Yeah.
believe in
Well, they need.
themselves. They're not good with who they are. They need the validation from outside. That's the
That is the problem.
problem there. That's why people feel comfortable saying stuff like, you disappointed me. I need you to do this, because they need that sort of validation. And they're trying to wave it over our head like it's something that we care about too. When we don't live in this paradigm and that you have
Absolutely.
for yourself.
And I wish more people didn't live their life trying to avoid disappointment. Because, because like I said, disappointment is only is can someone that can only be disappointed in you if they have standards that you haven't set. Their standards, not yours. So who gives a fuck if you don't reach their standards? Who gives a fuck? Right? So many people, yeah, so many
Doesn't matter
people
one bit.
stop right before they get to their goals because of disappointment. They don't even. Some people don't even start because of disappointment. But disappointment from who? People who don't matter.
Not facts. Because yeah, anyone outside of yourself functionally at the end of the day doesn't matter. Like, you can't win everybody's approval. Like, the thing is, if you could do anything in the world, and if enough people see it, someone's going to have a problem with it. I can go make a video and say that I enjoy watching the movie Star Wars, and somebody will pop up under there if enough people say it and say that's ridiculous, you should kill yourself, because people just want things to be mad about regardless of what it is. So it doesn't matter what you do. You can never please everybody. If you go get in great shape, somebody will make fun of you for that and act like you did the wrong thing. You can make a bunch of money and someone will have a problem with you for doing that. You could be poor, someone will have a problem with that. You can be fat, someone will have a problem. You can go dedicate your life to doing charitable things and somebody will have a problem with the fact that you're not feeding the right orphans or saving the right animals or something like that. So it doesn't, no one is ever going to approve of everything that you do. It's not possible. So that's, if you're running around trying to please everybody, you're going to get absolutely nowhere, because it's not possible. It doesn't matter what you do. You could go out there and say people need to breathe air,
That's a
and
fact.
somebody will tell you that that's offensive to someone who
That's
got
a
their
fact.
lungs collapsed or something like this. Someone will find a
That's a
problem with
fact. That's a
anything.
fact. My one or my most golden advice for artists when they asked me when they ask me, I say, listen, only thing that's guaranteed is no matter how bad you are, someone's gonna like you. No matter how good you are, someone's gonna dislike you. It don't matter. So you might as well just put your shit out. That's my advice. That's always my
Period.
advice for artists. Oh, what if this is what if it's not good enough, or what if it doesn't sell? What if it? Well, listen, I'm trying to tell you, you only got one guarantee, man. Somebody gonna not like it, and then somebody is gonna like it. That's the only two. And then the worst scenario is someone just ignoring it. So
Yeah, this that's a fact. Like, I have heard what I believe to be some of the absolute worst music, period. The worst rapping I've ever heard, and that's somebody's
Right.
favorite song. Like, I've heard what I believe to be the greatest thing ever, and somebody
Yep.
thinks it's terrible. Like, none of it matters. There are far too many people to sit there and be worried about that. Someone will like you, someone will hate you.
And
Such
that
is
ties
life.
back to what we were saying in the beginning, man. Well, it kind of doesn't. But there's no good guys and there's no bad guys in war. How about that? It kind of makes sense. It kind of.
Not at all. It's
It's
just
just participants,
participants.
participants, man. It don't look, man. It ain't personal, man. It ain't really personal, man. And look, my thing is the biggest thing for me, and to be serious for a second, I don't want to just using innocent people. Innocent people in war will die. That sucks. And that's who we should be protesting for, or whatever. If you don't know what's going on, at the very least you should be upset that in war innocent people will be slaughtered. And that, my friends, I don't like. So the rest of it is business, man. I equate this shit, Jay. I equate this shit, and I really oversimplify things at times, but to me, this is just block shit, man. It really is, man. It's just block shit, territory, money, blackmail, whatever the fuck you, whatever you. It's just elevated street shit. You know, if you think about it, Jay, it's just really elevated street shit at the highest stakes. That's all this shit is.
As above, so
Say it
below.
again, Jay. Say that one more time. I don't think they heard you.
As above, so below. It's all the same shit, just on different levels, on different scale. It's like, for the people who think that they understand what it is that's going on, think about if you've ever been in school and you've ever been in a fight in school, you and some other kid, then they take you up to the principal's office and they ask you what happened. And both of you lie, and both of you think that you were the ones right, and neither of you tells exactly what it is that's happening. It's the same thing, just on a
That's
much
it.
larger scale. Both sides are believe that they're the good guy, believe that they're doing the right thing, and both sides are only telling half of the
Or both
story.
sides want you to believe they're the good. They're the good. Either way.
Either way, at the end of the day, you can't know, and I fully agree. Like, you have the only stance that it really matters for anybody to take is the people who wind up being collateral damage out of all of this, the
Yeah, man.
troops who get sent off, who are just
Yeah.
pawns in the big
Both
game
sides.
on both sides, the civilians who just wind up being casualties of bombings and all of that whatnot. This is the real issue here, but this is
Yep.
what they don't get you to focus on when they
Yep.
talk about all of the other stuff and their tactical strikes and
Right.
how
What about the
successful it
lives that
is
were
that they
lost?
were, and the success of the missions. Like, people are dying. People who did not want to participate in this are dying, and people who signed up for something that they thought was something completely different are winding up dying. People are dying for honorable ideologies that aren't actually why it is that they are over there. That's what
Yeah,
everybody
man.
should be
That's a fact.
upset about. Period. Like, all of the rest of the shit, you like Trump, you hate Trump, you like
That
Israel, you
shit don't
hate
matter.
none of it fucking matters, man. It's the random people who are caught up dying in these people's weird ass game of
Yeah, man.
power.
I
That's
agree,
what
man.
matters.
And like I said, I don't want to drag the shit on, but I just got one last thing to throw at you, Yoda. My personal uh my personal question. Um well, every time I ask you something, I kind of know the answer to it. Well, I know the answer to it, but I just like when you say it. Just like when you say it. It's better when you say it. Um, Has there ever been change without violence? Will there ever be? No, for real. Like, and I don't mean like war, like what we're seeing now. That's not change. That's change. It's change, but it's change in uh, their favor. I'm talking about change in our favor. Has there ever been change in our favor, meaning the people? Has there ever been change from our perspective without violence? If you go in the history books, the history books that they give us and we read, and the history books that they didn't give us, and the history books that we did read, has there ever been a time where the people got what they wanted without violence?
I think that just like with the previous example, on all levels, there never really is any sort of change without some degree of violence. Like, people don't lose weight until they get incredibly fat. That is some degree of violence that has taken place against your body. People don't try and people don't want to get sober until they've gotten themselves into such a terrible position that it's really the only thing that makes sense. That's some degree of
So you're
violence
saying,
happening in
Jay,
their life right there.
my
They don't
bad,
want to
I don't
try
want
and
to cut you off, but you can continue. But so you're saying that until the shit hits the fan. Okay, I'm talking about back against the wall.
that's the only time that most people change, like, is when something catastrophic happens. Like, people, we were talking at the beginning, people don't want to fix their relationship until it's damn near irreparable. Like, it's just, and this is the same thing again on a much larger scale. Like, peace, unfortunately, can only come through violence for the most part, because the people who are in charge of making that happen don't want to change until they are forced to, and there's only
Talk
one
that
way to
shit, Jay.
force
I'm
that.
trying to tell you, man.
So that's
I don't want to cause no uproar here. I, I baited you. I baited you a little bit, Jay. I baited you. We gotta kill
what
him.
I will say, that here's the thing.
Hold on.
Here's the Here's the thing, though. What I will say is, much like with the other thing, much like making yourself obese is a form of experiencing violence against yourself, there are other forms of violence. Like, we've talked before, if everybody in the country decided that we are only
What
paying
they gonna do?
10% in taxes, then that's
What they
all
gonna
that the
do?
taxes would be. That is a form of violence. It's not physical violence, but it's much past the level of waving your stupid little signs around, talk about make stuff different because we want it that way. Nobody cares about that. But if every single person in the country has decided none of us are going to college, but I want to be an engineer, you, engineering firm, are going to train me on this job. This is just what it is that they would have to do. People absolutely have the power to restructure and reshape everything, but only if they all come together, and that is what people cannot seem to get past, because they are separating everybody. The blue fights the red, the left fights the right, the blacks fight the whites, the gays fight the straights. All of this, it is all a bunch of nonsense about stuff that at the end of the day, nobody cares about. You're working against your own best interests for some nonsensical stuff. You people want to sit there and run around, Trump is evil. Who cares? Who cares? Do you want to pay less in taxes? Do you want food? Do you want better opportunities? Do you want school to be free and or cheaper? You can make these things happen when you stop sitting outside whining like an idiot about a whole bunch of nothing and a whole bunch of nonsense and blaming each other for all of this stuff. Well, Biden and Kamala, no one cares. None of that matters. None of that matters. And they want you to fight like this, because then you can't come together and do anything that's actually of relevance.
Jay, you're a smart man, but I gotta ask you: do you actually think if people band together, there'll be no violence? So you mean to tell me they're, or even on their end? And
So this is
let me expand a little bit on that, because usually violence keeps people in line, right? So, people want to band together. Once one motherfucker see 100 people get their head blown off, maybe the rest will get in line, right? So is, and that goes back to my original question. Maybe we don't use violence. Maybe we just use unity. Do you think that ends well?
So the problem with this, this is the thing. The problem with this is that nobody is willing to make a sacrifice for the greater good. Because at the end of the day, yeah, obviously, if everybody decided something, they would send
Yes.
in the National
Yes.
Guard and the Army and all of that whatnot. But here's the thing. First and foremost, though, I would be willing to bet that if all 300 million people here came together and decided a thing, right? When they sent in the army, I don't think that all of them would comply with it. First
True.
and foremost,
True.
but the bigger thing comes to, yeah, some people are going to die. That's just what will happen. But the problem is nobody is willing to be that person.
Slavery.
It's like we talked about before with
slavery.
the prison thing, right? If all of the prisoners decided we could exactly, but if all of the prisoner, whether you can't, but that's the thing though, is you can't enslave everybody without cooperation
how we were saying,
from everybody.
well,
oh, you're talking about
yeah.
I understand. So the thing you could take a slave plantation, you could take a prison. The thing is, if they outnumber the guards, the owners, whatever the case may be, by so many, and if they all decided to come together and say, hey, we're not participating in this anymore, yeah, a couple of you would die, 1,000%, but they can't.
Well, we posed that question, Jay.
And
we
at a
posed that
certain
question
point,
with the slavery thing. When we said Kanye said it was a choice, it wasn't a good choice. We didn't say it was a good choice. So, couple of you got to die.
It doesn't have to be a good choice, but
like
this is the thing. This is the thing. You can die right now, or you could live the rest of your life wishing you were dead. Like this is what you got here. This is the choice. And at the end of the day, everything is a choice. You don't like the choice, that's fine. That's most unfortunate. End of the first Saw. The dude could sit in the bathroom and starve to death, or cut off his foot. Those are two sucky choices, but he had the choice. Regardless of what it is that you say, him not cutting off his foot would have been him choosing to sit in the bathroom and die, because he had another option. And all these people in all these scenarios do have other options. They just don't want to make the other choice. They don't want to break out of the prison because no one wants to be the one to get shot. They don't want to take over the plantation because no one wants to be the one to get murdered.
What you do, Jay? You turn everybody into a sheep. You turn even the rebels, even the dudes, even the women that may even buck. You turn them into mindless sheep also. So when even if it came down to that point, it'll be less likely that would happen, because somebody's gonna say, "Well, I ain't willing to do that." Well, hold on, wait a minute. You mean somebody got to die? That ain't gonna be me. So what do? You fill them full of fluoride and high fructose corn syrup. Nah, for real though. And depressants and cereals and come on now. This is what you
tell them masculinity is toxic.
Masculinity is toxic and all this other you turn people into docile imbeciles. So even if a couple do buck, the
rest
here
won't.
We are, Jay. Here we are.
But see, they even got another level there, because even if some of them do rise up, they're rising up against the other side first, not the top people.
Talk that. Hold on, I even one deeper.
So
you gotta, if you're rising up, you gotta rise against. You're rising up against the sheep. The sheep now protect whoever you are rising up against. So now you have another barrier to break through, because the sheep will protect the herder at some point. Well, hold on, wait a minute. We kind of got it good here.
They got the white sheep defending one herder and the black sheep defending another herder, and the white sheep thinks it's the black sheep's herder's fault, and the black sheep thinks it's the white sheep herder's fault, not realizing that there is someone telling the herders what to do. So it's so many levels, and people are just against all of the wrong people. So the sheep fighting each other.
You just broke
over their herders.
You just broke that down.
Insanity.
I don't think they was ready for that breakdown, Jay. I don't think they was ready for that one. Man, we cooking, man. We cooking, man.
Is crazy out here, and it's the things that people participate in, and then you tell them what's happening, and they call you a conspiracy theorist, or they tell you that you are a coon or so. Everything but hey, maybe this makes a good bit of sense. Yeah, I've been sitting here talking about all of these same narratives for 100 years, and what's changed? When does it occur to you that maybe you have placed your eggs in the wrong basket? Maybe what you think change looks like is not
It's
what
great.
change
Look,
looks like.
I'm gonna say this, and people not gonna like this one. We told y'all about Candace Owens. I don't know if y'all been listening to her. This woman is so fucking brave. Whether you agree with her or not, she's fucking brave, man. Some things I agree with, some things I don't. But she got balls, man. She got bigger balls than 90% of y'all, man. I want to give her, I don't want to give her no goddamn flowers. I want to give her credit. I'm openly supporting Candace Owens because she's brave, man. She's brave. And
1000%.
I don't know if you've been, not you, but the people. I don't know if you've been, for all the people that was like, what does she add? She doesn't do anything. She doesn't and I'm like, yo, man, just listen, man. Just listen. She is out here crusading at the moment for the past couple years, man. She been putting it down, crusading, really, really, even shit that she doesn't even agree with, and she's given a chance, and she's doing a great job, man. I just wanted to give her credit, and openly give her credit, because I don't think she gets what she deserves from. Look, Jay, our culture, fuck y'all motherfuckers, man. Fuck y'all, man.
Not at all. Nah, they were told to reject her, so they did. But this is the problem that people have, is because they can take, because they don't like 100% of something that someone says, they act like they're just completely terrible, they're completely bad, and everything that they do and stand for is wrong, and all of this, and they can't say a fact because they don't like everything. Like, you're not going to agree with everything that somebody says, but the problem is nobody can be objective anymore, because you are told that this person is evil and this person is bad and this person wants to be white, or what, any of this other nonsense. Like, she says, she goes with things, I believe that whatever she says,
Yeah.
she believes to be true. And
Yep.
that is more than you could say for the
Yeah.
vast majority of people out here. That people will
Yeah.
just say whatever it is that they are told, and they will just subscribe to whatever
Yeah.
narrative that they are given. There are very, very few people who you can say you actually believe stand for something. And she is one of them. And that's commendable, whether you agree with her or not. I say all of the time, it is better to have your own beliefs that you have cultivated that are wrong than to be right about things and you don't know why it is that you are right. Because that's how you just wind up trapped in something and led astray. So she's out here thinking her own thoughts and standing up for her beliefs, and that's commendable, whether you agree with
Straight
the
up and
beliefs
down.
or not.
Straight up and down, man.
Doesn't
And
matter.
she just, you know what impresses me about her? She just doesn't hold on to one belief, and if proven more wrong, or she just doesn't stick with it. She says, you know what, I was wrong about that. I was wrong about that. You see her stance on Trump. She's like, he's disappointing me. He's this, he's that. And I'm like, okay, that's commendable. Her stance on RFK Jr. Uh, you know, Same thing. Like, I was wrong. Like, I thought it was this. It wasn't that. So here we go. We gonna ride on them. We gonna ride on whoever the enemy is. That's what y'all not. That's what y'all not gonna do. Y'all just gonna ride with somebody for 30 years or 40 years and just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just ride with him because whatever. Like, nah, man, fuck that. If I made a mistake, like, I thought so and so was gonna do this, they ain't do that. But they said they was gonna do that, but they ain't do that. Guess what? We riding on them now. Now they the enemy. I'm riding with that.
That's
what
what
it's
it's
supposed to
supposed to
be.
be. Like that's what happens when you actually stand for things and not just nebulous ideologies. When you're not just tied to some random side simply because, when you actually have true beliefs and morals, then you're able to change your opinion. Like this, I thought he was going to do X, but he did Y, and I don't rock with Y, so I
Facts.
don't rock with him now. I was wrong. Such is life. But everyone else is just so married to all of these other things. He's a Republican, I can't vote for him, I can't agree with anything he does. He's a Democrat, we're on their side, or I don't agree with it. It's nonsense.
It's nonsensical, man, like
Nonsensical.
you said, Jay. But listen, man. But listen. Game within the game, man. What is this? Is this 22, Jay?
Episode
I
22, which you
was about to
have
do
to
it.
name.
I was about to do it. I'm going to name this one Good Guys versus Bad Guys. That's what I'm going to name this, Jay. I shit, look, man. Good guys versus bad guys. And look, that
That's
shit could
fitting.
be interchangeable. Whoever you perceive to be good, whoever you perceive to be bad, that will be your reality. It's clearly. And then whether it's right or wrong, it's just going to be your reality. But it's not everyone's reality, right? So just keep that in mind. A lot of you guys like to force your reality on other people's reality, and it might not be their reality. Your good guy might not be their good guy. Your bad guy might not be their bad guy, and vice versa. When we figure out that that's okay, then maybe we can do something about what's going on. But like I said, there's no good guy, there's no bad guy. There's just guys, man.
Facts. And all of these narratives that you are subscribing to are
Absolutely.
false. So stop getting wrapped up in this and work on
Yourself.
yourself.
Make sure you are
Put
yes. Make
yourself in a
sure
better
you are not
position.
one of the bad guys.
It's all you can do, because you can't control what they do. You can only control what you do. And that being said, game within a game,